Welcome back to a new episode. My name is Lillian Wanjiku, and today we'll be talking about postnatal care. We are privileged to have Dr. Ikonya with us again. Yes, in previous episode, we talked about conception, we talked about antenatal care, we also talked about labor and delivery, and so we're excited to know what it is all about now after delivery. What do we do with our babies after we've given birth? So we're privileged again to go back and discuss more and get to understand what really happened. So Daktari, karibu sana.
Thank you so much.
How are you today?
I'm very well.
Yes. I'm glad to see you today.
Thank you.
So can you just briefly introduce yourself for
Okay.
viewers?
Okay. My name's Jean, Dr. Jean Ikonya. I'm a general practitioner practicing at Plainsview Hospital in Ruiru, around Thika Highway at the junction to Ruiru town. So that's where I work, and we do a lot of maternal health, and we are privileged. I'm privileged to be here for the discussion.
Yes. So you're welcome, Daktari. So
Thank
I
you.
think we have to just jump into our topic today.
Yeah.
And I'm really excited because our viewers have been learning a lot and asking a lot of questions along the way. And we are looking forward for them to come to Plainsview. We believe Plainsview is one of the best hospitals around.
Thank you.
For giving birth. Ama zinaitangwa aje?
For maternal
For
care.
maternal care.
Yeah.
Yes, that is it now. So can you just briefly talk about, just in a recap of the previous, define what is really this maternal health?
Okay. So when you talk about maternal health, we are talking about the health of a mother from conception, antenatal care, labor and delivery, and postnatal care, up to 6 weeks after delivery.
Up to 6 weeks after delivery.
Yes.
So that is it.
Yes.
So touch again about, say, why the patient need to come through the process.
Okay, it is very important for maternal health care for every mother because through the visits that you go to see the doctor, we are able to identify any complication that is arising or may arise, and we are able to take care of it so that we can have a healthy mother and a healthy baby.
And a healthy baby.
Yes.
That is what is important.
Mm-hmm.
So for that matter, and without further ado,
Yeah.
I think we just have to jump into our topic today about postpartum.
Yes.
Because in the previous episodes, we've really talked about everything the patient need to hear. And for more, they just visit Plainsview or any other hospital they feel comfortable with.
Mm-hmm.
But in the meantime, now tell me, what is successful delivery, Doctor?
When we talk of successful delivery, it's where we have a delivery and with good results. And we are talking about good results on the mother and on the baby. So having a mother going through maternal care and goes home with a live baby.
With a live baby.
Yes.
The important part
And a
is
healthy baby.
A healthy baby.
Yeah.
Wow, that is so good.
Yeah.
So that is not successful delivery.
Yes.
So and there's a question here about what is preterm birth.
Preterm birth is whereby the baby is born before that 7 weeks of pregnancy. If the baby is born before then, that's a preterm labor, and it will end up with a preterm baby.
Oh, so that is new mtoto mwenyewe uzaliwa 7 months and then anaekwa.
Yeah, any baby who is from 28 weeks to that 7 weeks, that's a preterm baby.
That's a preterm baby.
Mm.
So and now the postpartum birth now ndio
Postpartum
birth.
care.
Yeah, care. It's care.
It's
not
a care.
birth. Oh.
Postpartum care.
Okay.
Postpartum care is the care that you give to the mother and the baby after delivery. From the time of delivery, moving forward to 6 weeks after birth, that is what we call postnatal care.
Okay.
So you'll be taking care of the baby and the mother.
And the mother.
Yes.
So can you maybe go deeper and explain what really the patient is required for after birth?
After the mother has given birth, we are now of course we examine the mother. If the mother is has no problem, then you take care of the mother in the postnatal ward, where you observe. You want to observe her BPs. You want to observe whether there is any bleeding, so that you are sure that the mother remains healthy. You are also supposed to take care of the baby, to make sure as soon as the baby is born and the mother is in the postnatal ward, the baby should be put together with the mother so that the baby can start breastfeeding as soon as possible. So you also want to make sure that the mother is having enough milk, so that there is enough milk for the baby. So mainly postnatal care is to make sure that there are no complications after delivery.
After delivery.
Yes.
So that is really the main
Yes.
thing for it.
Yes.
So and how many days the patient stays? Like huyo anakanga hospitali for how long?
The mother. Now the mother, mainly if it's a normal delivery, within 48 hours the mother should be going home. If it is a cesarean section, we give them like 72 hours. So by the third day after the operation, they are able to go home, unless they have any complications that may keep them in the ward. Otherwise, by the third day, they are well to go home and recover from home, and then you'll be able to see them maybe in 1 week for review. You review the baby, you review the mother. Then from there, you can see them at 6 weeks, and unless the mother unless there is any complication, you want to see them more often. The normal way is to see them after 6 weeks.
After 6 weeks.
Yes.
So can you really talk about these mothers that go through the process of cesarean? What are they expected to do now after that?
After delivery.
After delivery, because I've had cases whereby sijui nini imetokana, sijui kushonwa. Okay, kushonwa vizuri, but unasikia kuna wounds after that, maybe amefanya kazi ama amefanya sijui nini. Such things. I've really had those kind of stories whereby unapata mtu, I know of somebody who fell down, sijui kidonda ikafanya nini. So basically, what's about that?
As I have said, by the third day, if it's a cesarean, you'll be able to open the wound and see how the wound is before they leave the ward, isn't it?
Okay.
And then when they come, of course, hygiene is very important. The mother has to take care of her wound. And after 1 week, when they come back, we look at that wound. If it is well healed, we assure them. They continue with the normal life of just bathing nicely and making sure the wound is clean. If they have a problem, then there will be advice accordingly. If there is infection of the wound, then the doctor will prescribe some antibiotics, or the wound will be cleaned more often. But if the wound is okay, then you don't need. There's nothing. There's no more. No, I mean, apart from the care that you take for yourself, it's okay. Yes. Okay. So if you fall, you'd expect something to happen, isn't it? Yeah. Yes. So those people who get infection of the wound, they just need to come back and they're taken care of. Wound care will be taken care of. Yes. But where you are talking about lifting things, we don't. We advise people who have had an abdominal surgery. Any surgery that is involving the abdomen, you avoid lifting heavy things, because if you do, when the wound has not healed completely, then you are likely to get something you call a hernia. That is, there is weakness of the abdominal wall. So we advise them, if they have to do any work, to avoid lifting heavy objects.
Okay, so I would want also to understand why are babies kept in nursery?
The babies are kept in nursery. One, if they are born premature. So the babies we said they had not completed that 7 weeks. Those babies are supposed to be put in nursery for observation. There are those who are so premature that they may require oxygen, so they have given oxygen. Some we give them antibiotics, and some of them we want to monitor their feeding. So you keep them in nursery until the small ones, until at least they reach a weight of 1.8 kilos. But for the others, you keep them like for 5 days for observation. If they are okay within the 5th day, they have good weight, they have no complications, then they go home.
They go home.
Yes.
So kuna kitu imenishangaza about, you've talked about oxygen, giving them oxygen.
Yes.
Why oxygen? Are they not functional?
You see, the premature babies, they don't have well developed lungs, so you have to support their their breathing. You support their breathing using oxygen, but it's only for those who require. Some of them are strong, and it's not all of them that are going to use oxygen.
Okay. And what causes deaths after birth? Nini cause babies to die after birth? Ama there cases hakuna completely?
Okay. Babies who die after birth maybe because one of them, if they have congenital malformations. If they are born with defects that cannot allow them to continue living, you find most of them dying at birth. There are others who die at birth if there were complications of labor. Maybe the mother, the baby reached, the baby was born and did not cry well, or maybe there was a cord around the neck and the baby got distressed until maybe the baby dies after birth or thereafter after birth. So mainly the death, apart from the malformations, is because of the complications of labor and also the issue of prematurity. If the baby is so premature, then you might find them dying because they were not mature enough to survive after birth.
After birth.
Yes.
I have a question, this is a bit personal. I have somebody whose baby just passed on actually yesterday, and the issue was a heart condition.
Yes.
It was a little baby, and the doctors were saying the baby had like 5 different conditions to do with the heart, and he was supposed to go to India for heart surgery and that whole process. Unfortunately, the baby didn't make. But I would want you to help me understand, why will such things happen to such babies in that kind of an early stage of growth? That is now after birth, umepata mtoto, and then all of a sudden such things are coming on board, because the baby was merely, I think, 4 months, 4 to 5 months.
Okay. I think when we were talking about development of the baby in the womb, we said that there's something we call embryology. Embryology is that development of the baby. Remember, the baby was coming from some things that you cannot see with your eyes, isn't it? Right. So there is a lot of activities that happen during the development of the baby. And if something goes wrong at any time, then you might find that the normal development of the baby did not happen. There are some organs, maybe they did not develop or they did not complete the development. So that's why we end up having those defects. So in this case, the problem was with the heart. The heart did not develop fully. So that's why you'd get such issues happening there after birth, because maybe there is an organ that never developed fully. In this case, you are talking about the heart. Maybe the heart had a hole, the valves were not normal, all those things. Maybe the blood vessels that were supposed to be there are not there. isn't it? So all these things come because of something going wrong during development of the baby.
Wow.
Yes.
So that tells me and encourages me that it has nothing to do with the parent. You know, the parents might easily start blaming themselves on that maybe they didn't do the right things because now the baby is young. You know, we seem to talk when you take on kubwa or something. So that tells me that nobody should just beat themselves up the fact that when the baby went home to be with the Lord, uanze to feel guilty. Where did I go wrong here?
You're not supposed to feel guilty because all that is under the hands of God.
That's right.
Isn't it? Yes. So we cannot blame ourselves for things that we cannot control.
That is true.
Isn't it?
Yes.
We cannot control that development. We can only maybe avoid things that can cause a problem, but the actual development, we have no control over it. So no one should blame herself for such a thing.
For such a thing. That is so encouraging.
Yeah.
So there's another question here talking about the importance of early skin to skin contact. That is, I believe, it's about the baby and the mother.
Yeah, so the earlier we have that contact between the mother and the baby, of course it brings that bond between the mother and the baby, and also it helps in the production of milk. Because of that contact, the mother will be able, the mother is able to produce milk faster than a mother who did not bond with the baby.
I'll explain that. Now that I did get it, how scientifically that is, and that is very interesting to hear. Wow, I didn't know that.
Yes, it does so. Because when the baby stays away from the mother, you see that contact is not there.
That's right.
So when the mother has a good contact with the baby, you find everything is smooth. The baby is there, will be able to stimulate the breast, isn't it? So the breasts are able to produce milk earlier than if the mother did not stay with the baby.
That is how connection is that important?
Yes, very important.
Wow, I've never had that, honestly. That is so good. So there's also about, I don't know if you've talked about this, postpartum bleeding.
Yeah, postpartum bleeding is that bleeding which comes, okay, we divide it in two ways. We have immediate postpartum hemorrhage, and the other one is called secondary postpartum hemorrhage. The one which comes within 48 hours after birth, that is primary postpartum hemorrhage, and it's usually a serious condition, and it will come, that's the bleeding after birth, and it can occur because of the uterine atony. Atony means the uterus after delivery is supposed to contract to be able to stop the bleeding by itself. If it doesn't contract, then it remains, the blood vessels are open up. So somebody can bleed very badly. So yes, we are supposed to be on lookout for that so that we manage it to avoid any maternal death.
Any maternal, do you have any other issue to avoid from there? Ama ni hiyo tu peke yake hemorrhage?
Okay, it's mainly hemorrhage, and maybe it's, after some days, infection. So because infection can also bring bleeding.
That is not the postpartum infection?
Yes. And also in the beginning, you have to make sure that the bleeding is not as a result of maybe something which has been left inside like a placenta. So you have to examine and confirm that there's nothing like that. There are other patients who may be bleeding not from the uterus, but bleeding from the cervix after delivery. So you examine the mother after delivery and find out everything is intact to avoid bleeding. Yes.
So now, what are these infections? Like, specifics, it's just that?
No, just the infection in the uterus will cause bleeding. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I think now we can jump into the next, and I would want you to maybe discuss them in a bit lengthy about psychological complications that may come after all that.
Okay. The issue of psychological is not a common thing, but when it happens, it can be because maybe the mother was not prepared, because there are mothers who go through a very tedious pregnancy.
That's right.
So that one can later transform to something, a psychological condition. Others maybe they got pregnant, they were not for the pregnancy, and so they feel this is not what they wanted. Others, it can just be a condition. It's not that the mother did anything, but it's just something arising after delivery. But it's something which can be sorted out.
It's something that can be sorted out.
Yes.
I've had these cases about sijui alipata, I don't know that condition. Alipata mtoto and then sijui all of a sudden he couldn't recognize the baby accordingly. Kama hizo zinahapeningi.
Yeah, there are some mothers who develop something we call postpartum psychosis or puerperal psychosis. Yani they get a mental illness.
Actually, it's mental illness.
Yes.
Right.
So for such mothers, we involve the psychiatrist to manage them, because it's like your psychosis related to maternal health care.
It take how long for them to go back to their normalcy?
I think it depends on individuals, but within 2 or 3 weeks, most of them will recover.
They do recover.
If it's actually related to the delivery.
Wow. Wow, that is good. I've heard of so many cases. I know of a friend actually, it was so hard to bond. Really bonding.
Yes.
So I think it does affect the bonding.
Yes.
That process. And it was a challenging issue because it took almost 1 year. And 1 year is quite a reno. The baby is already big.
Yes.
Which is quite sad. But the good news is they are rare cases.
They are not common.
They are rare cases, which is so good. So, well, Daktari, we have to continue with the questions. And because we'll be talking about maternal health, and I believe so many people hawana any kind of awareness. This awareness, I'm sure that so many of them don't have this kind of awareness. So I would want you to tell me, maybe in the field in your observations in your make as a person.
Yeah.
Uniambie, what strategies or initiatives do you believe are crucial in reaching the marginalized communities to raise awareness and provide adequate maternal care?
Okay.
That is now on the experience you've had along the way, your observations about all kinds of people. And there's one thing I would want you to really talk about. Ili hit hard. The last time I was here, I had brought somebody and I met you gladly. And I remember you telling me that the person tulimpata kwa barabara giving birth, which was very sad issue. But the husband hakuwa na pesa, and it was bad. The guy was really crying and he was a young guy. And there's something that I've never forgotten. You told me, go tell that man to start taking care of his wife in matters covering cover NHIF, and actually the minimum in NHIF that people cover themselves with that for the prevention of tomorrow. You get it? I would want you to talk about that in that regard briefly, and then you just give an advice on how to do about awareness.
Okay. I think what I would say is that the maternal health care is very important, and it's something you can plan. It's not just something which just come, isn't it?
Yes.
So, okay, for those people who can be able, I think 500 shillings that is being asked by NHIF is not much money when you compare what you're going to benefit from it. So I would advise mothers maybe to pay up insurances and NHIF or any other insurance that you can afford. And also it's very important to know when you are pregnant, to be able to identify the hospital that you attend when you go into labor, so that you don't end up going loud and loud when you are in labor. You should have identified the hospital that you will deliver from, so that there will be no confusion, because time is very important when it comes to labor and delivery, or even the antenatal. Because if things are not done at the right time, you are likely to end up in trouble. For those areas that are marginalized, then that's where you'd encourage the government. It needs to take care of his people, isn't it?
Right.
So they need to provide healthcare facilities around the people, for the purpose of having a good maternal health care.
That's right.
Yes.
Wow, that is so encouraging to hear.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you so much, Dr. for your time
Yes.
and the brief discussion we've had about maternal care.
Mm-hmm.
I believe our viewers will learn something from it.
Mm-hmm.
They'll come to Plainsview. I repeat that again.
Yeah.
Yes, I do believe in this hospital, by the way. So, guys, you're welcome. You're welcome to Plainsview. And so, because of time, we have to end our conversation.
Okay.
But we've had so many previous episodes. Ziko, YouTube. You'll find them on YouTube. Go check them. They really are detailed. For if you want any help, just come to Plainsview Hospital in Kihunguro. That is Thika Road.
Thika Road,
Ama
yes.
unaweza sema ni nini? Unaweza sema wapi? It's Kihunguro.
Just say along Thika Highway before you branch Ruiru town.
That's right.
Yeah,
So
on the road.
So you're so much welcome.
Mm-hmm.
Karibuni sana for that. And God bless you for your time.
Mm-hmm.
So you're blessed and highly favored. Thank you.